An amazing explosion. On August 27, 1883, residents of Perth, Australia awoke to a loud explosion. Meanwhile, workers on the island of Rodriguez in the Indian Ocean swore they heard cannon fire. What was causing these mysterious and frightening sounds? Thousands of miles away in Indonesia, volcanic activity was blasting apart an island called Krakatau. Krakatau. The volcanic eruptions there caused one of the most violent explosions in world history. An area of volcanic action. Indonesia has more active volcanoes than any other country on Earth. Many of them make up a curved chain of islands known as the Indonesian Volcanic Arc. Krakatau is one of these islands and is located in the Sunda Strait. This narrow stretch of water flows between two of the largest Indonesian islands, Java and Sumatra. The Sunda Strait joins the Java Sea to the Indian Ocean. What exactly is a volcano? A volcano is a vent or opening in Earth's crust. Gases and a hot liquid rock called magma flow through the vent. Lava is magma that reaches Earth's surface. Pressure within a volcano is what causes it to erupt. An eruption forces out lava, dust, ash, gas, and pieces of rock. Some eruptions have the power to blast apart an entire island. This is what happened on Krakatau. The Big Truth. Back in action. After the 1883 eruption, Krakatau was quiet for many years. But on June 29, 1927, the crew of a fishing boat witnessed the mighty volcano's return. The men heard rumbling sounds coming from underwater as they hauled up their nets. Soon, large gas bubbles burst up and exploded. Krakatau had erupted for the first time in more than 40 years. Since then, it has continued to erupt from time to time. Other effects of the eruptions. The extent of the damage caused by the volcanic eruptions was clear to anyone who visited Indonesia. But the explosions also led to changes in climate and geography. What happened on Krakatau that day affected everything from the color of sunsets to weather around the world. Sudden changes. The volcanic ash, dust, and rock that fell from glowing clouds on August 27th settled into a thick layer on the ocean floor in the Sunda Strait. They also formed sandbars and briefly built up the size of islands such as Lang and Verlaten. Wind and water have worn away many of these new land features over time. Scenic sunrises and sunsets. The eruptions created lovely sunrises and sunsets that were seen as far away as Europe and North America. This is because the explosions blew volcanic dust into Earth's atmosphere. It remained there for several months. Sunlight passing through the dust added amazing red, pink, orange, and purple colors to the sky. Writers and artists used poems and paintings to describe what they saw at sunrise and sunset. A cooler climate. The eruptions on Krakatau affected climate patterns all over the world. Large amounts of ash and gas had been released into the atmosphere. This caused clouds to reflect more light than normal. This cooled the Earth more than usual. Average temperatures in the year following the explosions dropped by as much as 2.2 degrees Fahrenheit, 1.2 degrees Celsius. What scientists have learned. Scientists studied the effects of the 1883 eruptions on climate and geography with great interest. They also began trying to understand what led up to one of the most violent explosions in history. New technology has helped geologists learn a lot in the years since the eruptions occurred. Yet they still have many questions about the past, present, and future of Krakatau. Keeping an eye on Krakatau. Modern geologists have different ideas about what caused the violent eruptions on Krakatau. Volcanic activity has continued to occur in that part of the world, but nothing, not even the devastating eruptions of Indonesia's Mount Merapi in 2010, has matched the events of 1883. people around the world are both curious and fearful about whether anything will match them in the future. A steamy situation. Some scientists believe the eruptions were so explosive because Krakatau's walls were collapsing. Ocean water flooded over the volcano's crumbling sides. This seawater then flowed into the hot magma and formed a lot of steam. The pressure of the steam inside Krakatau could have made the explosions more powerful. Magma mix. Other geologists think hot magma may have suddenly mixed with cooler magma on August 27th. This might have caused a pressure buildup inside the volcano that ended in a violent explosion. Scientists hope that discussing their ideas and finding new answers to their questions will help save lives if similar eruptions ever occur. They are always trying to figure out better ways to predict volcanic activity. A new island. A new island volcano called Anak Krakatau grew from the Indian Ocean between 1927 and 1930. It sits between what used to be Krakatau's Perbowewatan and Danankones. Some people who live on nearby islands are worried about the possibility of a violent explosion occurring on Anak Krakatau. They are scared that what happened in 1883 could play out a second time in the Sunda Strait. Not much to fear right now. Right now, most scientists believe the volcanic activity on Anak Krakatau does not pose an immediate threat. Several geologists have said the island is not large enough or filled with enough magma to cause widespread destruction. Scientists are keeping a close eye on the situation, though. No one can afford to forget how one volcano changed the world in 1883.